States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're having our open work group meeting,
Yes.
so
At the table.
please feel free to sit at the table.
Oh. Okay.
You
Yeah, we don't wanna do
that.
Are we good here, not blocking the camera there?
Yeah.
I'll do roll call now. Trustee Clark,
Here.
trustee Jessberger,
Present.
administrator and public works superintendent is here. Fire chief is here. Assistant police chief Joe McCoy is here, and Omar Vargas from public works here, and some guests.
The next meeting will be April 21st, here at Chambers Avenue at 6 o'clock. And motion to accept the agenda with flexibility.
Second.
Trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Jessberger,
Yes.
We're going to skip the minutes part. There's still some edits that need to be done. So we'll present the minutes at the next meeting. You guys have agendas? They need to come up to the table. Please. Meeting video. Ready to have other options.
yeah, we're working through, we purchased a speaker to help with the recording of the meetings for the phone purposes and stuff. That seems like it's gonna be better, so we're gonna try to use the new speaker system or mic system over triple nine, at 3820. We're gonna play with it. We can daisy chain some mics and stuff together, so hopefully we can get a better recording system.
Okay. The OTA tax abolishment communication.
And last meeting I was at, they've gotten about 200,000 signatures out of 420,000 or 430,000 that they need. They have until August, sometime in August, to have them ready so they can be researched and stuff before it gets put on the ballot. My thoughts is, we got some internal talk, do we want to push out how the township is grassroots and do a campaign against that issue? My thoughts is if we push it out now, that just maybe get more people interested in signing a petition. Maybe we ought to wait until, end of August to find out whether it's going to be an issue or not. Then we have time to do it. I know the township association's already putting together some literature and handing things out to the township so we can be proactive on this once we know it's an issue.
Okay. They have all those people on the board, and I know that they offered at the OTA that they'd be willing to come to meetings in the areas that they're within the state and talk about it, so.
And from what I'm hearing is a lot of people they're talking about, going away with the property tax, but they don't realize when you do away with that, you're giving up your fire, you're giving up your police department,
Schools.
you're giving up your schools, your road department, stuff like that, until the state legislatures can get something in place to fund them.
Right.
And I know a lot of villages and cities and stuff, they can do an income tax where a township's not able to do an income tax
Right.
unless legislation changes that. So it's going to be kind of nerve-wracking that we need to wait and see what happens, but
So the property taxes, it's across the board, or is it just for townships?
no, it's going to be across the board. I mean, everything's going to be affected. From below the state down, the counties and stuff, they're going to lose the funding.
Schools will lose their funding.
And I saw one loophole they were trying to do the sales tax up to like 16, 17%.
Well, they said in OTA that if it does pass, the state's gonna have to do like a 40-cent sales tax to cover it until they can figure out another system.
For sure.
Everybody's gonna pay 40 cents sales tax
Which
on
is,
everything. Won't that be fun? All right. Payroll company research recommendations.
gotcha. Did you guys, both of you, did you get a chance to read it? You want me to go through how this all started? You wanna know the
Maybe
process?
just.
Okay, I'll make it short.
Just-
So I've been involved with payroll for probably 6 to 8 months now, and I found that it was interesting to me that fire did it one way, police did it one way, and then road department did it a little bit different. And I was like, why is this not uniform? So we all use paperwork, but we all use it differently. So Dave got with me and said, why don't you research some other companies and see what's out there that might work better for us. So I first reached out to UKG. UKG is who like Columbus Fire uses. They're for big municipalities. So we had just one Zoom call with them. It was wonderful. I mean, it did everything. It was amazing. So they found out we only had 50 employees. So we sat for our second call and they immediately said, we don't think this is a good fit for you guys because the price, the dollar, it would not be beneficial for you guys to do the research going with us for larger municipalities. So we passed on them, but we did find NeoGov had everything that we wanted. We went through 5 or 6 meetings, the 3 of us did, and it was a great system. It was everything that I wanted. So the police department, we now have shift diff, and Paycor appeared at the time not to be able to do that function. We contacted them, they weren't getting back with us. Fire wanted 24-hour shifts. NeoGov says yes, we have all that. It was great. So we get to the final thing with NeoGov, and they gave us a 3-year contract would be $110,000 with nearly $24,000 in a one-time setup fee. That was just to switch over. I don't have the numbers to what we pay for Paycor, but I'm sure it's not that much. So at that time, Chief Fraley pulled me aside and said, hey, a lot of stuff you're looking for, Paycor has it. So he walked me through. We took a week. We sat down every other day, went through the process, and he showed me what the training was on Paycor and such, and found out they have shift dip. They have everything, but for some reason, we don't use it, okay? And the answer that I got was, we do it this way. So police and road department still does paper. If we want time off, can I have this time off? And supervisor checks yes. And the payroll is this much paper, goes from this person to that person. The systems are just, it's 20 years ago technology. It's like there's a better way.
Right.
So what we found was it would be better to stay with Paycor and reach out to them and see if they would re-onboard everybody. Because right now, half the township is on time card, time punch, and the other half is you just fill in your numbers. Okay, so as a police officers, we don't punch a clock, and I don't think fire punches a clock.
No.
So what happens is I think we all need to be re-onboarded. So I think we should reach out to Paycor to see if that's something they would offer us, even if they would charge us.
Right.
That's better than incurring $110,000, right? And then request some training from Paycor, if they could do, not only onboard all of our people, but offer department heads, and we're having a new fiscal office, see if they can come in and do it, so we start all over. We got a fresh fiscal officer, as if new payroll, have it all done right the first time.
Yep.
We're all on the same page. I think that's the way to go, and it'll be so much smoother. And also what we found out, what I thought was interesting, was when I told both UKG and NeoGov the steps that our payroll took, meaning we have a lot of fingers in the cookie jar, they said you have the chance for errors are incredible. There should be one person entering your payroll into the system. Supervisors should sign off on it. Yes, that's correct. It goes to one more person. That person puts it in payroll then cuts us a check. The way we do it is he's putting his in, I'm putting mine in, and now there's so many steps for errors, where that was one of the big standouts for me. It was, that's just wrong how we're doing it.
Right.
And I told you guys when I got in this position, I want to do things right.
Yep.
I don't wanna do things just because we've always done it that way. Well, that's not, if it's not right, let's not keep doing it, let's do it the right way.
That's not good.
Okay, and so that was a big thing that I wanted to bring up, and also going with Paycor and using them the way it's meant to be used, we will eliminate all paper. Right?
Okay. So, we're just gonna work on updating these policies, or do we wanna,
Yeah, there's some policies in the back that Joe didn't mention that there's recommendations to do some policies with how we structure it, who's responsible for this, who's responsible for that. As we move forward, we'll probably present something to the board. We'll probably have it in our handbook.
Yeah, I think now's the time to do all this stuff, because we're getting change,
right?
and change, I think, is a good change, it's a fresh, and I think we need to, these policies, there will be no pressure from anybody, it's gonna be, this is the way it's gonna be, because this is the way it is. I think we just need to get together as a group, put these policies together, put them in place, a new fiscal officer comes in, we're all on the same page, they're on the same page, we flow.
So would it be okay if like we pass something that, to accept these formal recommendations and then work on the policies, or should we work on the policies and then adopt those?
Yeah, then we need to adopt it as a policy.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
And also, I'll reach out to, well, one of us will reach out to Paycor and see if we can see what they say about the new one, the onboarding, because that's very important to get everyone set up
I
correctly.
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think if we get that, and then with the new fiscal officer, it all comes together at the right time, it'll be a good thing.
Yeah, because right now, if employees want to document their time when they show up for work and stuff on their phone, not everyone has the same app.
Yeah.
Not, and when you go onto a computer, laptop, not everybody has the same program.
Right.
And I questioned that when I first came in the township, why isn't everything uniform? And it's, didn't go anywhere.
We're finding out when people have been hired over the last several years, their onboarding has been different in each department. So that's why we're seeing some people have a punch profile, some people have a worksheet profile. So we need to make sure all that's being
And with
done
that
by.
ethics requirement, it needs to be a consistent process of it.
Correct. It should be one
Everybody's
person,
following that, and
one person should be onboarding all employees
so,
instead of the free for all. Each department, whoever, you know, can do
makes
it.
sense. Okay. Thank you guys for working on this. Thank you. Fiscal officer position, we have 2 interviews set up for this Friday. Are we gonna do them in a meeting, or how are we gonna do that?
It'll be a special meeting. That agenda will go out here soon.
Okay.
Go right into executive session. There won't be any streaming of it or anything like that. I broke it out for a half-hour session so we can get to know the person. I've invited Joe and Brian and Mike if they want to be there, just get a feel if the board's okay with that.
So that there aren't, like, procedurally, so there aren't, like, who's gonna ask what question, can we somehow figure out, like, who's gonna ask what question, so that we're not, like, waiting for a question to be asked and then just do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna send this out to the board. I got a list of questions to ask, and we can tweak it however we want. That way we're asking the same questions for every candidate.
And even then just identify who's gonna ask it, because then it's just,
I think-
then it's more like an organized interview. We know who's gonna ask what questions, is that somebody you?
Mm-hmm.
And usually, I think from what I've been reading, the chair facilitates it, so
Yeah.
if you want to, that's fine.
Right.
If you want to pass it on to me to ask the question.
No, I think, I'd like to have everybody be able to answer questions and make sure, and you want to ask all the questions, because
Okay.
the person's gonna have to work with all of us anyway, so I think that it would be important to hear from everybody, and if you want to be involved in
And I'm sure,
it. Right?
I'm sure, you know, the individual have questions too,
Right.
so. And we do have a third candidate, but they're on a cruise right now. They won't be in until, I think, Monday the 13th.
Okay.
So we might be able to squeeze another session in, or another interview. And we may do round 2. Who knows? We'll get this through this first one, we'll see how things are looking. then we still need to decide, maybe at the next meeting, about a visiting clerk to help with the process. I know one candidate, he's out of state, and he sounds like he'd be great for a remote, but we're still gonna need someone in-house to help with in-the-office functions.
Would you suggest that we have a special meeting, or like this special meeting this Friday? Like, put that on that agenda and then go into executive session or afterwards?
Yeah, once I talk to the third candidate, we'll figure that out. I did talk to Chet Cheney with the OTA Association, and he's gonna try to help with maybe someone in the office
Okay,
to come in once a week
good,
for a few weeks,
okay,
just to get what functions need to be done there,
okay.
the mechanics.
All right, thank you for doing all that. Chief, you want to do the firefighter?
Sure. I'd like to request a motion to hire Ethan Spalding as a part-time firefighter EMT at $14 an hour effective April 8th, 2026, to be paid from the line items 2111-220-100 and 2281-230-100.
Second.
Trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Jesper,
Yes.
The next thing is, just a national fly-in. It's for National Association of Towns and Townships. Is having a conference in Washington DC in mid-May. And I would like to request that my registration be paid. The hotel is $375 a night and not $59.99, or something. I have a daughter that's in DC that I can stay with, so that won't be an expense to the township. So I'm looking for just one. And I'm gonna drive out there and taking them, so it'd just be $225 to the township.
225 or 275?
I think if you look where it says registration, $225 per person.
Okay, yeah, it says 275.
Huh?
275.
Okay, $275.
So-
Oh, I see that. No, it's different. No,
I
it's
just wanted-
$275.
I don't think we need a motion for it, just nobody has any objections, so we're good.
All right, thank you. All right, community affairs?
April's National Garden Month. How serendipity is that with everything we got going on? And also Earth Month, so obviously we're pushing out a lot of information and tips surrounding gardening and focusing on basically keeping our earth alive. I already put a post out regarding the fertilizer, and that was pretty alarming. So if you haven't seen that yet, you might want to check out the Facebook post from, I believe it was yesterday. Earth Day is April 22nd, and Arbor Day is April 24th. So we're having the Earth Day Arbor Day event on April 25th. That's from 10 to 2. I have flyers here for all these events that I'm going to speak to also on the table. The Arbor Day Earth Day event is also the DEA Drug Take Back Day, so police will be there. We also have the garage and basement cleanup, where we're encouraging people, instead of throwing their stuff on the curb, come drop it off in one of our dumpsters. We're also going to have Franklin's Soil and Water Conservation District there, as they usually are, setting up a table, talking about all the different rebates and resources that the community can get involved with. And then we'll have some other little items as well, so I'm still putting together a few little other things, like perhaps some free plants and some items like that for the people that attend. So that, again, is on April 25th. We also have on the 18th, our Community Cleanup Day, and we're going to have 3 events going on that day as well. So we're going to have the litter sweep from 10 to approximately 11:30. We're going to focus primarily in the Case Road, Walford Street area. I got the map out and everything and put together all the logistics and sent those out to the team on that. Then afterwards, we're all going to meet at the Case Road Community Gardens and have like a little garden party where we're going to have some snacks and light refreshments and talk about ideas on what we're going to do with that community garden over there. So hopefully we'll get a big turnout from a lot of the volunteers that's coming for the litter sweep. And then also, for the first time that I'm aware of, we're having a shredding truck at the township from 10 to 2. So the shredded truck's going to be there the whole time. So, and then the Arbor Day, Earth Day event, and the community cleanup event, they all have the several activities going on within the event. And each one of those activities are individually focused on and on social media and our website as well. Any questions on that so far? Beautification project, that starts April 15th. So this is our 3rd year doing it. And I'll be reaching out to all the past participants. And then also hopefully going to recruit some new members from the activities that we have in April. Any questions on that? Beautification? So the sign-up's going to be April 15th, and we'll have that on our website. The SOPEC presentations are on April 21st at 999 Chambers Road, which is our meeting date at 6 p.m. And on April 25th, this is also during our Arbor Day, Earth Day event at noon in the community room.
The 21st is like during our regular meeting.
Correct. For here at 999. Did everybody get the postcards, residents from SOPEC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everything's going as planned. Constant contact form for the individuals that have signed up for the e-subscribe on our website, where you get notifications for various upcoming events, news, meetings, and the like. Who here is subscribed currently to e-subscribe? Okay. Did you get any new, are you getting any new emails? Okay. So the format within our new platform, our website, each one of those goes out individually when there's an update. So you probably got a lot of emails here recently. What we've done is we've found a different platform called Constant Contact, and you've probably seen these from other organizations where they send like a monthly newsletter and you get everything in one email. So that's what we're in the midst of transferring into. So I've taken all the people that e-subscribe to newsletters, and then all the other individuals that subscribed to the other areas, put those together, put them in this program, and you should have gotten that email as well, where it has a couple flyers and a happy Easter. Okay. Any feedback on that?
Is it Constant Contact, is that a weekly email you send out or a monthly?
It's going to be a monthly. And then intermittently, as there is a urgent need. Like if we believe like there's something that we really need to get out there, we can do it then as well. But for now, I sent out kind of a task last week to let people know what was going on for the weekend, which was our resource fair and also the self-defense class Saturday. But this week, I'll be pushing out, creating another one that's going to have everything we talked about. And some of these that I received, there could be like 20 different things, topics. And all you do is you just scroll through them. It also has, I do have only a handful of people who sign up for SMS as well. So that's also an option in the Constant Contact. So If you haven't signed up for that yet, it's easy to do. Just go in to the website. There's a subscribe button. Just click on that, and then that way, everybody will be on the same page with everything that's going on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Thank you.
Public comment?
I got a couple things here. I was going to congratulate you on the website, so congratulations on the new website
Thanks.
and your work in Constant Contact. I saw the email,
Yeah.
so you're doing an excellent job in
Thank
your
you,
role.
Rachel.
I had a couple of things here for Public Works, possibly just some ideas. Chambers Park here, there might, I encourage the township to consider some maybe remediation with the grading. There's flooding that's been going on, and I certainly can, I've been taking some photos. I can send you some photos after. It used to be after heavy rains that the water would stay. Now, after a decent rain, the water stays. And then, you know, makes it kind of, it makes the park unusable, right, you know? And then it does, there's also, I guess, some, maybe Public Works might want to look into how some of that works with the sewer system and where the water is backing up. But I certainly can send you those photos. When it rained, you can look at how much rainfall we got and all that kind of stuff. But it's just something that I've seen over the years just increasingly get worse.
Yeah, definitely. We can send the pictures over. Dave and I will go over and see what our options are and go from there.
Okay, yeah, and I know the couple, homes also in the circle experience water as well in basements during those heavy rains. And there's some, I know if you look at the 311 calls for the city and who's getting called out for water, you can start seeing kind of a pattern on houses and some of the drainage issues. So just something to get on your radar. Also for the circle, notice that there are not just only, I know, branches that are down, which it's spring, it's season to remove the brush and whatnot, but there, if you look up, which sometimes I didn't do a lot of, right? There's a lot of dead ones actually in the trees as well. And it kind of, the beautification project and the cleanup that we're doing kind of sparked me to come over here today and just, again, put that on your radar in addition to the flooding. Separate from that, and I know you guys wanted to say something about the brush too, right?
Yeah, I'll just tag on to Rochelle's comment. Monday, I saw the road crew come by, and they only picked up a little bundle in front of one house, and they left 2 giant bundles in front of our house and our neighbor's house.
Yeah, so we were down to one guy yesterday.
Okay?
We usually run at least 3-guy crew, at least 2 at the very minimum. Again, we were down to one guy, so he was just doing what he could. Today, we finished the east side, and tomorrow we'll be back to finish whatever we're
Okay.
left on the west. So
Perfect.
we will be back together.
Did
All
you
right.
send me an email?
I did,
I
yeah.
responded.
You did? All
Yeah, I
right.
responded before the meeting here.
I totally forgot about the meeting, and I sent the email, and I was like, I'll just come over and ask. So,
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah, the one
responding.
guy who's driving, he's on light duty, so he's not.
Couldn't handle all the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wait a minute, you reminded me too about emails. I didn't write this down, but I'll ask you now. Is there any chance to get gravel spread on the circle since there's quite a few people using it as a park?
I'm looking to kind of reshape that, and we was talking about doing some reshaping for watershed too.
Yeah,
You do know that they're gonna start that project, the sidewalk project.
yeah, I saw that, it's exciting.
So I know if I put down fresh gravel, then maybe mud and everything, cause that's kind of what I've been holding off for until they get done with their project.
Okay,
If they have some extra dirt or whatever, they may be able to put it somewhere.
nice,
Because we need to widen up them parking spots on the inside.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have concrete parking spots out along Chambers Road also.
right, I remember that plan. It's gonna be
So-
excellent.
I'm glad it finally got started. I think we went out to bid this month. So is it possible starting in May?
Oh, I didn't think of the August, so that's,
No, last I was told May.
okay,
Start date.
perfect.
The sidewalk?
Yes.
Yeah, there are, I mean, a lot of people that, I mean, from dogs, frisbee golf, just, picnic, I mean, the picnic tables, you can almost not get a picnic table when it's nice out. I mean, it's a very popular, area, for sure. And I do appreciate an officer, thanks to an officer who, there was a semi, pulled up over here, completely blocking that curb, sitting there for maybe like an hour, just idling. I don't know who called it in or what, but we saw an officer speaking with that gentleman who lives in the apartment, so we were very happy to see that that was taken care of, because it was just becoming dark and it was dangerous.
And if you see that, we need to stop that immediately.
Okay.
Because one leads to, two leads to three, and it becomes a problem. So if you see any semis on the roadway, call us.
Okay.
Immediately, don't wait.
Okay.
Because as soon as we can get that taken care of, the better.
I'm already squeaky wheel, so I try not to be so squeaky, you know, I try to bide my
Squeaky wheels
time.
gets the attention though, doesn't it?
And then I'll just keep squeaking then.
There you go.
I know this isn't our jurisdiction, and I know code enforcement's not here, but again, it might be something with, just communication. The apartments here, the dumpster, is just always a problem. And on the township side is the White House that did, you know, has a new owner, and they're remodeling that. Again, calls to 311, and constant furniture, couches, beds, you can see it out there. Takes a couple calls to 311, and then you're looking at about 2 or 3 weeks. It's gone, it's great, and then it comes right back. So I don't know if there's just a way to have like a friendly communal conversation with the owners of the apartments, just to ask them if they can maintain their dumpsters and be
I
like
think
the
Dan has
neighborhood.
already, but you can do that again.
Yeah, because if you, when you walk out, you'll see the nice, it's been sitting there, we're probably going on 6 weeks now with, yeah, and it's just, I mean, and that actually looks nice right now. So I would say that is probably on their scale of like an A, where it's been, I mean, 2 dumpsters full and 2 equal dumpsters without having a dumpster next to it.
You know,
Just
in-
very
In
bad.
the past, I know Dan has told us that it's not always people from the apartments that's throwing that stuff out there. That people are coming by and just dumping it from other parts locally. They're not even necessarily people moving out of those apartments. Dan's talked to the apartment police, and they said they have video of people just pulling up and dumping stuff.
It's interesting.
So,
Maybe it's someone.
but that was happening quite a bit in the past, so
Yeah.
the department's doing what they can, from what Dan said last time. They're
Yeah,
also fighting the dumping of non-apartment residents.
has Dan asked to see the video?
Probably not, because that's not
Not- okay.
his jurisdiction. Like Dan's
Yeah.
super on top of everything.
Yeah, right,
He's
yeah,
got a-
yeah,
He's got a
yeah,
great,
yeah.
relationship with the Franklin County, the
Yeah.
city, so I'm sure he'll reach out to him.
Yeah, that's great. That would be awesome, because, you know, it just, we've had, you know, rats coming into the view, and all that kind of stuff just breeds,
Sure.
yeah, stuff that we don't want. But yeah.
So the city of Columbus, their Department of Neighborhoods have
Representatives?
their
Yeah.
liaisons.
Yeah.
And I don't work with them that much anymore, but we always do like community events together.
Yeah,
So trying to stay in my lane and not do the.
but can I looked up who she was. Do you think it would be a good idea if I got in, contact with, the representative for?
Do you know who it is?
I forget her name right now. I could see her picture because I just looked it up last week, and I was gonna reach out to the liaison for the community and just ask.
I think that would be fine.
Sure.
The other thing.
Yeah.
I can also say something. I'll just make sure that I send it from my township email instead of obviously my city email.
Okay, yes, yeah. Thank you for, yeah, I just was like, oh, should I just keep doing 311 instead of doing the personal? And so that's why I wanted to come here But yeah, okay, I'll do
And
that.
they're usually really good. Like I know, like our young lady in the north side, Delina,
Uh-huh.
the minute she calls 311, it's taken care of. So I don't know. I can't remember who's over on this side, but that could be a good reason.
Okay, thank you. That's on my list. I'm good. I'm check.
I have two things, unless you have something.
I do, but,
No, go ahead.
okay, so I'm gonna be another squeaky wheel. So it's about the noise ordinance, and I do have a prepared statement, so I'll go ahead and read it. So again, good evening trustees, my name is Kenesha Cunningham, resident of Clinton Township. I'm here tonight to follow up on the proposed noise ordinance, but with a heightened sense of urgency given recent events in our community. While we often discuss noise as a quality of life issue, the recent tragedy and loss of life at a local establishment reminds us that it is fundamentally a public safety issue. Excessive noise and unmanaged crowds are often the early warning signs of potential violence. A codified noise ordinance gives our police department a proactive tool to intervene early in the evening. It allows officers to address disturbances before they escalate into the kind of tragedy we just witnessed. In short, an enforceable ordinance is a crime prevention tool that could save lives. To assist the board and the police department, I'm submitting an updated log of recent noise instances today. And to further support this process, I will also be initiating regular calls to the police department to ensure each of these events is captured in the official CAD reporting moving forward. We need a clear legal standard to back up our officers' enforcement efforts. Because of the immediate safety risks involved, I have two specific questions for the board tonight. One, when does the board anticipate the first reading of the noise ordinance will be added to the meeting agenda? And number two, given the recent violence, will the board consider passing this with an emergency clause so that it takes effect immediately upon approval rather than waiting the standard 30 days? And with that, thank you for your time and your commitment to the township.
Okay. Clarify something, this will not be an ordinance, we cannot do ordinances. That, and you're going by the first reading, emergency reading, second reading, all that stuff, that's for villages and cities.
Okay.
We do a resolution at the township, and it's already in place.
Okay.
It's
So
already been passed.
it's been passed, has it been sent to, so it's been through the legal department?
Yes, the legal department, our legal has researched it. The board members officially has all signed it now.
Okay,
So we'll need to take it to the police department and send it down to the prosecutor's office.
So the prosecutor's
That's
office.
the next steps.
okay, okay. And what time frame does that normally?
It should be done by the end of this week or next week. At least
We
get to them.
would hope so. When it gets down in their hands, it's when they get
It's
to
when
it.
they get to it?
So for the time being, what I need you guys to do is to call, like you said, you want to adopt, you need to start calling, okay?
Okay.
So everyone has, the cruiser cams and the body cams,
Okay,
okay? So I've watched a lot of video. As of right now, the crowd that is in that place,
Mhm.
it's not the same type of crowd that caused the loss of life on Oval Park.
Mhm.
It's a much older, very, very calm, very, very inviting to police.
okay,
So I've seen what goes on, at the nighttime hours, but what we need to start doing on your end is the documentation. So when you call, our guys will go, we'll make a report that we were there. That starts a paper trail.
Yep.
So we're just not going full bore, here's your citation, or here's your, we've warned you this many times, we heard this many, this was the action, you chose to do nothing,
mhm,
here are the consequences.
okay.
I do believe it's not gonna take much for them to work with us,
Mhm.
because they're, like I said, they're super inviting for us to come on in, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And I think it's gonna be taken care of relatively quickly,
Okay.
but you can help us by
Mhm.
calling.
Okay, and we'll do that because it hasn't gotten any better.
Okay.
It's gotten worse,
Okay.
and it now seems to be adding days as well as hours.
And plus, it's getting warmer out,
Yeah.
we're getting to the summertime, so it's gonna,
Exactly.
so if we can nip it now.
Yep.
But, like I said, squeaky wheel, call.
I have a question.
On the March 17th meetings, when we passed that.
Okay, so my thought process was incorrect because we did the resolution versus the actual ordinance.
Yeah, the resolution's how the township
Yeah,
takes
okay.
So on your end, be prepared, so, let's say we go through, they have a right to appeal, right? They have a right to go to court.
Mhm.
And when we go to court, you know, they're gonna take body cams and take everything into consideration, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to go to court. You know what I mean? Because there has to be a complaint. You
Okay.
know, our officers are gonna sign off on your behalf that here it is,
Mhm.
but also we're gonna have to have something to back their teeth to.
Okay.
So if we go in there and we have nothing, Franklin County Courts is in.
Okay.
And you know what I mean, and I know what's gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I mean, we have to have our, you know, our ducks all in a row when we go down there. Because it starts out as just a simple citation, you know, I mean, it's nothing. And if it continues, then it can get a little bit, get some teeth behind it, but at the beginning, it's just very basic, and hopefully we don't get there. Hopefully they put more sound deadening up front than we do.
Okay. And then one last question, I think. As far as other neighbors who are also experiencing the same issue but haven't come forth per se, we need that as well.
Because right now, we have one.
Yes,
it.
Yep.
yes.
If we have an army,
Yep.
we're much stronger,
Thank you.
right?
Is that something you can push the resolution out so that?
I was
people
just
are
getting
aware?
ready to ask, is this something, because no one knows about it except us, to put something together and push it out on social media at the minimum?
Put it on your website, just.
I think so, because this is actually something we've needed for a long time, not just, we always want to help you, but we've had, sorry, you know, we don't have a noise ordinance, or we don't have any teeth. My 28 years, I've said it 100 times if I said it once, but if the people know, you know, it's
Yeah.
out there now we can.
So I'll get a
enforce.
copy of it, I'll put something together, I'll have a link where they can actually view the language of it, and then also kind of consolidate or recap what you just said.
Yeah.
Like,
Action
you know,
steps that they can take.
the steps that needs to happen.
And I'll relay that to the officers too, because this is all new for us, we've never had it before. So we'll have to get everyone up to date on the do's and don'ts there too.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about that. I read the resolution. Is it just, it's not pertaining to residential, it's pertaining to commercial properties, right?
I believe it's gonna be residential as well. I think if we have a noise ordinance, it's gonna be township-wide.
Anybody in the township.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
It's gonna be the loud music over here, or loud music, or the barking
Barking
dogs.
dogs.
It applies to everything.
The
Before we had
revving up
nothing.
the
We had-
engines.
Sorry, you know.
Oh, right, yeah, right, I knew we had nothing. I must have missed, I read it as like something section D, and then I read it, and it read to me that it was like only commercial properties, or like bars or establishments like that, okay.
They designate that in there as one of the areas, so
Yeah.
it's just not residential, it's both.
Okay, so it's both. Will there be hours of the day
There
then?
is, there's ours.
Do you know those hours?
What did you suggest, 10 to,
I think it
7
was
a.m.?
10 to 7 or 10 to
Yeah,
8
yeah.
or something.
I think
And
10
is
to
there-
7 a.m.
Is there like a decimal reader too? Do you come out and?
No.
How do you, well, I mean,
we talked about that.
Yeah, well, because that's what, like, the community festival, when they get hit with, noise ordinance, they are doing it by decibel.
So we don't do decibels, I think it's 100 feet. is what-
100 feet.
100 has to be audible from 100 feet,
Okay,
is what I think I read. But no, decimal meters do not apply anymore.
okay,
It's 100 feet.
got
They may be decibel meters with the city ordinance, but not.
it. So that would even be like someone got up and like on a Sunday morning, they wanted to mow their grass before.
You can't.
You can't, Well, I know like in UA and stuff, but in the View, it wasn't, yeah, right?
Right.
Okay, so I get it, so we're, all right, so we're adopting those type of noise ordinance, yeah,
8
Okay.
AM to 10 PM, 10 PM.
Can't mow the lawn before 8 a.m. right?
That's interesting, so that is, how I'm guessing we'll need a lot of education then on the rentals in the View.
But it's also one of these things where you gotta like, there's a letter of the law, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like, you know, what if the guy says, screw you, and keeps on, you know, so it's gonna be like, oh, okay, write him a ticket, you know what I mean? You know, it's one of those, hopefully the people comply, but it's,
Well, of course, I mean, yeah, and like as an officer, what are you gonna come out and just say, hey, you're gonna probably, I mean, like you said, be nice and say,
100%. Like,
yeah.
do me a favor here, but I don't wanna write you, say, my first ticket for, you know, mowing your grass at 7 a.m.
Or like OSU games, right? I mean, think about OSU games or, you know, or 4th of July, you know what probably tons of calls. Would you have to legally respond to them then?
So, let's just use 4th of July for example, or let's
Exactly.
say New Year's Eve, how about that? That's
Yeah.
what I don't know. They don't even dispatch, because it's overwhelmed, like the people who call, unless
Okay.
it's, shots fired, I mean, it's all night long. And really, the dispatch, they don't even dispatch us. During highlights, July 4th and whatever, it's like, are you responding to normal fireworks complaints? No, because it's all night long. But if we're driving by and we see them, come on guys, we can't do that.
Right.
And 99% of the time is completely fine. They say, I understand. Then they try their luck the next night. But most of the time they, most of the time they comply. Most of the
Okay.
time they comply.
Okay, so it's kind of similar to parking in this, in the view is where like holidays, they're not necessarily gonna enforce it, right? Where you do a courtesy like, hey, this is a friendly warning, right? You're supposed to have a permit, but it's a holiday. We know you have a bajillion family members over. Okay, I get it. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I would be curious. I think the Inside the View would need a little education on that.
For
the
sure, I think
rentals.
everyone will.
Yeah,
Because it's new.
yeah, especially during Buckeye games. I mean, yeah.
Well, there's 13 exemptions too, in with that, and one of them school-related events, sporting events, parades, and other school sanctioned programs. One thing that may, cause an issue is road construction. When we do projects, a lot of construction people, they want to be in there at 6, 7 o'clock doing work. So that may be something that we may have to do an exemption for. Because when they paved over here, they was here early in the morning,
Yep. 7 a.m. Yep.
They were complaining.
Yes, someone was, yeah. Get to wait till noon to get started?
God, no.
And I have one thing. So speaking of the incident over at Oakland Park, I received a referral for the program that I work for in the city for one of the victims from the first weekend incident that happened. And it got me thinking that, like I do anti-violence work for the city. So I'm working still with like 11 to 40-year-olds. I usually have more of the adults now. And they are city residents that have been violently injured. So they've been all over the news, high-profile cases. But I have the honor and privilege to be able to walk with them through their recovery. But it just has me thinking that there's been an increase of alleged teenage shooters. Gang activity is going up. It's almost every day that I'm at work, which is Monday through Friday at the city, at least one time a day, I go to turn onto a street and I can't turn because CPD's gang unit is everywhere. And it just makes me sad, first of all, but it also makes me wonder, like, I know it takes a lot of planning, and I know we have our room use policy, but I'm just curious if there's a nonprofit, or even if it's, I don't know, like an agency like Urban League, or Community for like New Direction, We Are Linden, Listen to the Youth, like, if they are in need of a space to do like a summer day activity, like, could we waive the rental fee for them and like open our space, like especially like We Are Linden, because they're in Linden.
And something like that, I would believe we'd be able to do that.
We waive the fee for a lot of.
If we're working with the township with its joint program.
We've partnered with We Are Linden for 3 years now.
And so like, or even if it's just simply, I mean, like, I know we can't be babysitters, but, you know, like, summer's coming very quickly. And we've already been, like, the heads up, like, it's gonna get probably a little worse. It's like we have to, like, these are our babies, and this is our future, and we need, like, I just think that we should open our doors to them, especially when it comes to programming and, like, giving options of, like, these are things to do. Like, I don't know, like, how we would go about
Urban League
doing
or whatever you're talking about, I think if they were to coordinate through Deborah for her own use, that she can put it on and have her be the contact, because she's offered to do that anyway. And she would be able to know when the room's available, so I think that would be a good.
Right, but if they're not currently a partnership like we are Linden, and there's somebody else that we've never really had any, relationship with, correct me if I'm wrong, is that part of the sticky widget? Like, how do we bypass that?
Yeah.
And promote it, I think, in a positive light, as far as not focusing on, hey, things are really bad now, and we're going to, partner with these, organizations so that we can, try to, help reduce the amount of violence in and around, Franklin County, or,
If you get a request like
Township.
that, could you like vet it through chief, or even ask Jess if they know this organization, and they can kind of vet that organization so we can get that room?
How would they be aware that we want to
Well-
provide this to them? Would I solicit to various organizations, working through a list with Jess, and send them out a letter to let them know that this is available? So we don't advertise it?
And then trying to work out a partnership with them, so.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Sounds like.
We'll work together, we'll get a list, and we'll make it happen soon.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Motion for adjournment. Do you have anything, sir?
No, I'm okay.
Second?
What?
You had motion to adjourn?
Oh, I'm sorry, second.
Lamar, good job.
Yes, thank you for coming.
Absolutely. I'm gonna grab some of these so I can
Thank you.
post them
Yeah,
on
take
the
whatever you want.
website.
Yeah, I got them on the website instead of me, but there's something magical that happens when you have a flyer in your hand.
Exactly.
I'll send you one and I'll tell you the date.
Yeah, she's down there. Ready to go.
I did mine. I did mine.
Yeah, we did some, garbage last year, and we're good. Trying to do some more this.
Well, and it used to be, yeah, just, and I think I know, there's, we're actually in the process, I'm on the process of, and there is, there's been a lot of.
I get to roll home. I don't get in trouble.
Yes.
Kind of, you know,